Fellow hobbyists, collectors, and prey heads alike, welcome again back to my channel. I am your host, Glendon Taylor, and now if you happen to stumble upon this channel or this video, this is Predator Collectibles, where we talk about anything from the Predator franchise, from action figures, comic books, statues, prop replicas. And on today's video, we happen to review such a statue that's inspired by a comic book, and that's going to be this guy right here from Eaglemoss, the Elder Predator from Predator Homeworld. I'm really super excited to have him in my collection, and if you'll notice, the box is a little bit slightly bigger than the past Eaglemoss statues, and I'm going to speak of that a little bit further in detail as well. So without further ado, let's get into this video. I think this box is definitely better in protecting your statue. This box stands at 11 inches in height, 7.5 inches in width, and it definitely has on the back of the box the cover of issue number 1, Predator Homeworld. It also has a picture of the Elder Predator from the same comic book series. And on the side, it indicates that the Homeworld Predator arrived on Earth not to hunt man, but instead to pursue his own kind, a trio of young predators intent on ignoring their race's warrior code and killing without reason. Now, out of the box, you do have, again, as I said before, the styrofoam protecting your statue, and also gives you a little description of, or synopsis of what the Predator is and why it is a statue. But I think that's where I'm going to come in. Predator Homeworld happens to be a 4-issue part comic book series, again published by Dark Horse Comics back in 1999, and we find at the beginning of our story the Elder Predator are statued coming across 3 Yautja predators who are both cannibalistic and sacrificial in nature and an occult. Knowing that this is definitely not Yautja or Predator related, it is disgraceful, dishonorable, tries to destroy all the evidence, and just before he is able to pass judgment on these 3 predators, they in turn escape to Earth. And that is going to be the Montana portion of Yellowstone National Park, where one of our main characters, George Sperling, who happens to be a freelance photographer taking pictures of elk during the rut or mating season, really liking this time of the year because elk are very opportunistic, territorial creatures during mating season. Bears also being very carnivorous because of younglings and mothers being very vulnerable at this time of the year, sees that an elk carcass has been destroyed, not very bear-like, and tries to follow that said trail, coming across an elk tied to a tree 30 feet high up in the air. Realizing poachers might be involved, takes pictures of the evidence and tries to further investigate as he can to try to see where the poachers are located and see what he can do to help save some of the elk that are currently living in Yellowstone. When he comes across yet another dead body of a bear, knowing fully well that this definitely is poacher-like, sees up in the tree that one of the Yautja predators that escaped the judgment by the Elder, right there on the branch, not believing what he's seeing and being distracted by a noise in the background. That Yautja predator despises not destroy him, but George does in fact take a picture of the predator just before he leaves. Holding the picture in his hand, George is absolutely awestruck that he can't believe what he saw, so he has to further investigate even deeper into the jungle of Yellowstone National Park. Comes across a rancher or farmer type house, and this is where the predators definitely show their true nature. They don't care whether they're young, old, women, children. The farmer of the father of the 3 trying to save the life is absolutely too late to save his family, and seeing nothing but grotesque, predatorist-based rituals of killing his wife, his daughter, his son, and unfortunately, he himself comes across the same fate as his family. And next up after that, the predators move on to the ranchers of that said Yellowstone National Park, and the rangers meet the same fate as well, where they all too are dead. Now, our second main character happens to be a biologist by the name of Dr. Bergstrom, who has definitely experience with predators, and she's part of the reintroduction program of wolves. And I really do like this because this is actually happening in Yellowstone National Park back in January of 1995. They were reintroducing wolves back into Yellowstone because the elk population definitely was outnumbering every other herbivores in the area. So as of January of 1995, they were reintroducing gray wolves that were in participation or collaboration with Jasper National Park in Alberta, Canada. We haven't seen any wolves in Yellowstone National Park since 1926, so there was no wolves for at least 70 years. So I really do like the fact that Dark Horse Comics took that opportunity to tell a Predator-based story based on what was actually happening in Yellowstone National Park 4 years prior to the publication of this comic book. So with Dr. Bergstrom rehabilitating a certain gray wolf, realizes that something is just not right in the mist or air, and she heard a bunch of screeching sounds from the ship as well. She went directly to the crash site, coming across our main character, the Elder Predator. And this is where our splash page, or the page at the end of issue 1, is where our statue is based upon as far as pose and 3D sculptability. Taking a cue from the last page of issue number 1, we have everything that we need in this scene depicted in 3D, which I'm really glad Eaglemoss chose to do. Even though this statue is crude in design, the artistic work in the comic book is also very crude and simplistic as well. But we have everything from the comic book in 3D, and I'm loving this statue. We have the serrated edges of his gauntlet blades, the paint work that's from the comic book on his biomask, the beads, his gray-headed dreadlocks, the spikes on his gauntlets, also on his armbands, the hooks on his legs and pouches, even to the dirt and everything right here on the base. The rock that he stands on is every bit of cool that I love, and I even have the clan symbols and his edgings of where he got his markings as an elder are in his arms, just as they are in the comic book. And I'm really liking this statue. This statue was something I was really looking forward to when they announced it, because Predator Homeworld happens to be one of my favorite comic books, and I'm going to further explain what details are in the comic book that's also on this statue. So moving on with the last scene depicted, we now see Dr. Bergstrom coming across the Elder Predator. Now, she has one or two choices. She knows that her experience with predators, different predators require different responses. It's either with some, you must stand your ground, or they perceive you as being prey. The Grey Elder, looking at Bergstrom, not realizing what she's about to do, makes the final decision that while with others, confronting predators in them as seen as a challenge. So she throws the gun to the ground, which is why you see the tranquilizer dart gun on the ground at the base of this statue. Making the right choice and decision, the Elder proceeds onto his biggest goal, which is finding those 3 Yautja predators. And Dr. Bergstrom, as a biologist curious, follows the Elder Predator as well. Now, it's also noted that in this particular comic book, while following the Elder Predator, she makes a comment indicating at the same time as this Elder is moving, it was clear that the grace he must have had in youth was gone. It was like watching an old leopard moving so steadily but yet so little and so stiffly. And this is where our 2 main characters, Dr. Bergstrom and George Sperling, come across each other in the jungle, following both the Elder and also following the 3 Yautja predators, and this is where the fight finally comes in. But before doing so, George takes a final picture of the Elder, realizing this may be his last opportunity. And this is where the fight emuses, where the Elder Predator is finally stuck in a rut with 3 against 1, and our main characters finally become part of the fight and decide to try to help the Elder as much as possible to make sure that this Elder reigns supreme in his clan, to not allowing these 3 predators to run amok anymore in Yellowstone National Park. Now, I'm not going to end, of course, any more spoilers other than that, but if you do want to read the comic book, I'll leave a link down in the description below of why I really like this comic book. So I want to thank Eaglemoss for bringing this kind of merchandise for us as Predator fans that have already read the comic book. If you happen to like Eaglemoss or the statue, I'll give you some more links where you can buy your own, either through a Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, or directly from Eaglemoss themselves. And if you happen to be an Amazon Prime member, you can get that particular statue that I'm reviewing today and get it received to you 2 days free shipping for only $28.47, and I'll leave that link down in the description below as well. Now, I have reviewed these Eaglemoss statues before in the past, so you can view that link right here if you've not already done so. I've reviewed 3, the Jungle Hunter, Scar, and the Berserker Predator. But anyway guys, I want to thank you again as always for watching my videos, and if you have any further questions, leave me a comment down below what you think of this statue and Eaglemoss as a company involving and giving us more statues to enjoy as Predator fans. I will see you guys next week for a live stream, and as always, Happy hunting.